Hey YouTube, thank you so much for clicking on my video and hearing about the latest update on my 52 book challenge. So this is essentially a personal development challenge that I set myself at the beginning of the year, where I would read 52 personal development books covering all areas of life, business, relationships, money, all of the things, one a week for the whole of 2024, so that by the end of the year I am obviously like just an up leveled, absolutely incredible version of myself. So I think we're in week 6 or 7 now, which has been super exciting. I've had a fun week reconnecting with Amanda Francis's book Rich as Fuck, and I've got some funny stories to tell you about that. But it's a little bit delayed this week because it's half term here in the UK. I obviously have 5 kids and I've been at home. So that has been a lot, but also I have been decorating. So you might notice that I have a new backdrop, which is incredible. The last few videos, I've been in a different part of the house with lots going on in the background, and it was just driving me crazy. So obviously, as part of this challenge to up level, my life, I've got to make sure that I am embodying the values that I'm learning along the way and continuing. Oh, sorry. Continuing to just keep like evolving, getting better and better and better. And that was part of the journey for me for this year. Like every book is, yes, going to have a strategy or a focus on a different area of life, but it's also about, what am I doing in the everyday as well to really allow those books to compound my evolution, my level up, my glow up, all of the things. So for me, this is driving me crazy with my backdrop. So let's fix it. So now I've got beautiful paneled office, which is really nice. And I've also got like some flowers up there. I still need to do some decorating, but hey, we move, ladies, we move. So Amanda Francis. So I first found this book, God, years ago. I think this could have been even before lockdown, or maybe I don't even know if she wrote it in that time. I think it was when I moved in this house. So probably about 3 or 4 years ago, I found this book and I just found it so refreshing. Instantly connected with her work. I love that she's super spiritual about it. Now, don't get me wrong, I teach money mindset also, and I blend the spirit with the strategy, with the psychology, with the practical strategies to actually create wealth. So I'm here for all of the things, but she's just got such a beautiful energy, such a calming presence, and really reminds you that you are fully supported. So it's been really nice reconnecting with this book. So a funny story. When I first read this book, I think it opens and she's in Beverly Hills on a rooftop of a hotel at a pool, just like essentially living her best life. And she's embodying that next level self where this is her new normal. Obviously, at the time, it was a bit of a stretch for her, but it really just, she received this download. I felt super inspired that this is what I'm meant to do. This is what I'm called to do. And obviously, then things just, got better and better from there. I replicated the same experience. So when I decided to write my book on money mindset, one thing that really came through for me is that I need to be in integrity with what I'm teaching. So if I want to get into my creative flow, to really be like embodying the energy of wealth and abundance, I can't write that book whilst I'm, looking after 5 kids and all the things. And I didn't do all of the book writing, but I essentially booked a trip to Beverly Hills and spent 4 days there on a rooftop pool in Beverly Hills, like really channeling what it was that I wanted this book to represent and to say. So my book is called The Good Girl's Guide to Money Making, because we all ultimately at our core and in our subconscious belief system want to be good girls. So, but it felt like a full circle moment. And for me, it came through as a download. I didn't need to be in LA. I didn't need to do any of the things. There was nothing necessarily calling me there, but I just suddenly woke up one morning. I was like, you need to go. You need to go, make this experience fun. Everybody had told me that writing a book would be really stressful. It would be an absolute nightmare. And I was like, I don't want that to be my experience. So I went and I did all of the things and it was fantastic. And and I really felt like I was meant to be there. So what was really interesting was that I very nearly ran into Amanda at our local cafe, because I saw in her stories that I was there in the morning, she was there in the afternoon. I was like, oh my God, we could have actually met each other. And I would have loved to have told her that story, because she really inspired me to want more for myself and to be in integrity with what I'm teaching and to give myself permission to live that extraordinary life. And I think for me, the biggest takeaway that came from the book was that the affirmation that it is safe for me to have more than I know what to do with. Because for a long time, I was always looking for the next milestone, the next milestone. And I felt like I needed to have super clear intentions. Like, what is that money for? What am I using it on? Why do I need it? And if I don't need it, is it rude to ask for more? Um, and or not necessarily have the inspiration as yet. Am I going to have enough desire around it? And that really clicked something for me in my brain when I read that the first time. And then obviously the good thing is with money mindset, the work is never done, right? Every new level of income, every situation around money is always going to bring up some new stuff. So I always go back to these books. Sometimes I just literally open it and think, like, ask for guidance, think, right, what do I need to hear today that is going to put me in the best energy, allow me to be supported by the universe, and give me that guidance that I need. And I'll just open a page and I'll read it from there. And that's definitely what I did this week with her book, rather than like reading the whole thing start to finish, because I've read it like 100 times. But yeah, I think for me, that was the thing that came out the most from it, was it's safe for me to have more than I know what to do with. And that just felt like a real full circle moment, just reading that again as part of this challenge. For my YouTube channel, like, this all felt really exciting. So obviously, if you are following along on the challenge, make sure that you subscribe so that you get all of the latest updates and all the things, because I'm super excited to share this journey with you. And I'd love to know what your takeaways are from any of the books that you've been reading with me. So without further ado, the book for this week that I'm actually going to be listening to on Audible is 10x is easier than 2x. So I am a woman who has always defied what is realistic in terms of success. I do not live the life that I was meant to live. I have always achieved success and incredible results that just don't make sense. And again, for a long time, I thought it was because I just work harder than everybody else, because I want it more than everybody else, because I've got so much adversity that I've overcome. And actually, there's a lot of people out there with terrible stories and great motivations and big hearts and missions. But I actually think now it's because I have that 10x mindset, where I can see anything with my clients. Obviously, I'm a business coach also, where it's like they are thinking this big and I'm thinking this big. And actually, I realized that's a gift, and it's something that not everybody has. And I need to own that. So I'm really excited to read this book, because this will hopefully give me a reason as to why those big 10x goals are easier to reach for than the 2x, and therefore achieve. So it's by Dan Sullivan and Dr. Benjamin Hardy. Um, it's quite a big one. It's like a 10-hour book on Audible. So I'm super excited to listen to this week. I love having an audio book as well. I've got some car journeys coming up this weekend. So this is the perfect time for me to embed and listen. So I hope that you're going to join me on that journey. And thank you so much for listening to this little update. And I look forward to reading in the comments how you get on.